When you walk in, there's a feel to that room, and there's an interaction of children with caregiver and caregiver with children, and there's an interaction of children to children, and you get the sense of it pretty quickly. And you watch the routine, you watch how much talking is going on. I think most people who have had any kind of training know they're supposed to be talking a lot, but sometimes you get so tied up with what you're doing you just kind of forget to talk because your head's working on thinking about the next thing you have to do. I think that's one of the things, the sad things we do to teachers, all teachers, not just infant toddler, but all the way up the line. We just keep putting more on their plate to accomplish, and as we do, it takes them further away from their real job, which is the children.
Kids can be curious and can explore and discover where there's laughter and warmth. That takes a room that has a teacher who understands child development. I mean, you just can't do this strictly off a biology major. You have got to know about young children. It's got to be, you've got to have it so well, so much a part of your being that when you are required to act quickly, the register from which you're drawing is solid. You know, you're pulling your encyclopedia of child development off the shelf in an instant and applying it to this individual child or this group of children.
When you walk into an older children's classroom, you expect to hear noise, a certain level of noise because of the activity and the engagement. If you walk into a noisy infant classroom, you're questioning what's happening because that's a lot of infants whose needs aren't being met. If you've got a lot of crying infants at the same time, and it's going to happen on occasion you're going to have the day when all of a sudden everybody's hungry and you got to figure it out because you can only feed so many at once. But it shouldn't be happening consistently, and you shouldn't be doing a lot of, again, hearing the no's, don't, stop, having infants, all over in different spots of the room crying and, just really frustrated. So when you have that level of noise and upset consistently, that's a cue that the environment's not working. And environment, broadly speaking, not just with materials and setup, but with how the caregivers have set up the daily schedule, the routines and things like that, so that you don't have all of the children needing a bottle at the same time, or 2 needing a bottle while 3 need a diaper, or whatever it is. Again, because infants have their own schedules, we don't have them as regulated. That is going to happen on occasion, but really how can you create situations that minimize that? And not that you want a completely quiet infant classroom either, but you want that real in-between with the calm, quiet voices and some cooing and some talking and maybe some music, maybe not, depending on what's happening, but that level. So the more sort of commotion noise there is and crying you have consistently over a long period of time, the more they're communicating, this is not working for me. The more content noises and calm environment and easy flow through the day, the more the environment that's working.
I'm looking for those very small groups of 2, 3, 4 children around an adult. And the room can be busy and you can hear some pleasant noises, but you're not looking for like large masses of children and lots of toys all over the floor. You're looking for these nice little family groups. I would not be looking for a whole lot of equipment that would get in the way of free movement. I'm not a believer in infant swings or walkers, or I really think that the environment needs to be soft and it needs to be interesting and stimulating, and there need to be some books and some cuddly things and some fine motor toys that are available to the child, but it shouldn't be overwhelming either. There should be freedom for the child to go through the routine of a day at their own pace. So they should be able to sleep when they want, so the cribs need to be accessible. They should be able to eat when they want, and so there should be a place where children can eat without disturbing other children. There should be a nice soft rocking chair so the caregiver can hold the baby while the baby's having a bottle and doing a little cuddling and talking to that baby.
You like your milk? Do you like your milk, right?
I need to see a space that says this is appropriate and friendly for the children, that if this is where the infants and young toddlers are playing, it's not filled with sharp edges on furniture, and that there are ways that they can be successful in exploring their space without getting hurt. But that's also encouraging them. You know, very low steps or platforms so they can really explore climbing in a safe way. You know, climbing steps, everybody knows, you know, especially in family childcare, you know, you need a gate so that they're not exploring the stairs too soon. But it's important for them to be able to do that. So an environment where they can explore their space and learn new things. At that age, lots of texture. You know, in a family childcare setting, that's so natural. The chair you're sitting on, this one happens to have a little texture. The carpet is different. The hard floor is different. Things that they're touching and feeling. And in a center, you need to be able to set up an environment that's that way. That, you know, it's not just so filled with so much color that it makes you dizzy. You know, things at their eye level that will catch their imagination and make them want to explore. And so some of that's furniture and setup, but the rest is, I just have to walk in and feel good that, boy, I can, you know, my baby wants to get on the floor and start crawling around and looking at that toy, and they're not just a jumble in the corner, that he can find a couple of things here and there and kind of go over to them in a natural way.